Hello. Today I want to play a game of Sudoku using some new features that I have in development in this app. Um, so I can't give you a link to follow along exactly. I can give you a link to the game, but at least at the time that I publish this video, you won't have all these features available. Maybe if you're watching this later, you will. Um, but I want to turn off the ability to start with notes here so that cells are blank when you start and you have to fill in not just Uh, so before, here, let me do this. So before, if we start a new game, bam, um, it would list all possible candidates in every cell, all possible candidates, and it was just this button. These two buttons were just labeled candidate. It was one button. And that's the way it'll stay when you're in this mode once I get this code really ready. But so if you were to unmark this one, that means you're declaring it's impossible. If you put it back, you're declaring, okay, never mind, I actually think maybe this is still possible. Well, now the new feature is going to be sort of indeterminate. I haven't decided yet whether anything is possible or impossible. And then I'm going to maybe be able to come through and say, okay, all these ones are impossible. But maybe it is possible here. And so if I like this, if I stick with it and really carry this through, there's all kinds of things that I think could be really interesting with that. Like having all these help things be smart about only finding lone singles and X-wings and chains that can be concluded when you've marked possible or impossible, and um, have it not try and make any decisions if it can't figure it out from cells where you've indicated one way or the other. So let's just see what it feels like. I think this is nice before I invest a lot of effort. See what it feels like to kind of play this way. And I'm really motivated by wanting to be able to start with Snyder notation and learn how to play that way, and also have a help menu that can help me get better at finding things when all I've got is Snyder notation. Or maybe I will come up with some of my own variation of the sort of like opening notation. So here we go. I think I'm not very good at Snyder notation. There's probably better ways to start, but I am just going to play the best way I know, which is I looked at ones and didn't see any good stuff, but twos here. Oh, actually, I can just place this value of 2 right there. But then we've got a strong link on twos here. So I have not only marked 2 as possible in both of these cells, but also marked that there's a strong link between them. So that's anytime during Snyder notation, you're putting pairs in a block where you know they're the only 2 in that block. Therefore, there is a strong link between them. And I guess that about does it. 3. And I would love if anyone wants to educate me on like more efficient ways. Let's see, 3 is there. More efficient ways to do the Snyder. Like I'm thinking of one digit at a time. Maybe I should be looking at one block at a time, or I don't know, something like that. Um, so we've got a strong link on 3s. Oh no, we can place the 3 here as well, because this 3 eliminates those 2, and this 3 eliminates that one, leaving only that cell left. We've got, I guess, a strong link on 3s here, and here. 4. Huh. Got a 4 there and there, but that's it. Okay, 5. And sometime I should play with highlighting on. That's not the way I want to play just for recreation, because I can't do this with pencil and paper, just have it highlight, everything like that. But if I'm developing a new feature for an app, I should be sure to play some, a different way that a user might be, just to make sure everything works out okay. So this is cool. This is why Snyder notation is cool. So these 2 5s eliminate all but that possible cell. And now because we had that strong link on 3s, we know that that must be the 3 immediately. And that brings us to a strong link there on 3s as well, because we're eliminating all those other possibilities. Okay, so we were on 5, and we've got a strong link on them here. Wow, those highlights really do make it a lot faster to spot. 6, 6, so that is a 6. Wow, yeah, that really speeds up the opening moves, doesn't it? 6 there. Interesting. 6 there. 6 there. Wow, so much faster with the highlighting. Interesting. Oh, only one of those. But that still gives us a strong link here. That's about it. So fast. Wow. Maybe I'll take another cycle through the digits, because we've placed a lot, and I feel like I could turn something up now. Yeah, eliminating those 2. Yep. That's about all we got there. 2s. Yeah, still not doing much for us there, is it? Right, that was our sort of X-wing on 3s already. Got a strong link on 4s in this block now, and this block, that's cool. And this block. Oh yeah, look at all that. Uh-huh. Oh, got a strong link on 5s in here now. And, okay, here's where I could mark a strong link on 5s here. And this is beyond Snyder notation now. You can't do that with Snyder. But because I have these extra notation to mark not just the candidate, but the link itself, I could place that now. Because I can see that there's the only 2 places where a 5 can go in this column. Maybe I'll avoid that for now, because I think I'll probably end up wanting to use this type of notation once I get good at all these things. But for now, I will stick with Snyder. I think we've probably gone full circle here. We've got all those done. We've got all those done. This has got, I assume, nothing new. No. And I guess these are the only 2 blocks where... Oh, we do have a missing strong link there. Oh, that's cool. Now that strong link eliminates this one. So that actually places this one. Impossible. Oh, I have to make that... let me leave myself a note. I have to make sure that when you mark something impossible, it will erase the strong link. When setting impossible. That'll be good enough, I'll remember. Cool. So we can remove this link. Okay. Now, the cool, to me, interesting question. Oh no, wait. We got a strong link on 9s here now too. Oh, and that eliminates this one, which sets it there. Wow. That is impossible. The value is here. Very cool. Now, I also don't have error checking working yet while playing this way. So I may have made a mistake 10 moves ago and the whole board is completely wrong at this point. But I think that's a valid conclusion based on the information that we had so far. That is indeed a strong link because it can't be there and it can't be here because of that one. So those are the only two. So it has to be in one of those two. It can't be somewhere else in that row. So it has to be this one. Okay, well, maybe I should just keep cycling through these numbers, I guess, because we keep filling things in, which restricts the board more and more, and maybe as we keep going, it will reveal things that are so far unseen. Oh, yeah, like there's a strong link here on 2s. Now that does a lot for us, because now that's a naked pair, or a hidden pair that we know has to be left naked. So that means up here we have whatever is missing, which is 1, 2, 3, 8. And over here we have to fill in whatever is missing, which is also 8, I suppose. And then that's going to place this one for us, which is a 2. And then that's going to place this one. Oh, right. And then that places this one. I assume I probably have made a mistake, and this is all wrong. And I'm just making it worse by continuing to build on bad assumptions, some mistake I made. But I will leave my insecurities behind and press on. I'm just scanning around, seeing if there's any other cool stuff I can do that I've seen here. One has to be, yeah, nothing. Okay, I'll just keep going. 3s, 4s. So the 3s have something marked in every single block, which means that I don't have to think about it very much. As soon as I place a 3 somewhere or place something that restricts the 3, it will all just, the rest of everything will follow from the notation. But you can see there's missing notation in a bunch of blocks for 4s, so this is worth looking at again to see if I can put notation in any of those blocks. I don't think I can. So yeah, like these 2 blocks are where I need to look to see if anything is restricted, and not quite, because there's all 3 of those. It could be anywhere over here. 6s are done, 7s are done. And I think we came full circle without any new notes, which means it's time to get more serious and go beyond the Snyder notation. And this is where I'd love to pop open a help menu and see if there are conclusions I can make that I don't know how to make yet because I'm not good at Snyder notation, and see if, these are all wrong. This is all broken right now, but maybe, maybe there's an X-wing I can use to do something cool. Um, nice. Okay. So how now this was the whole reason I haven't added Snyder notation to the app yet is because I didn't know I thought it was going to be a big deal, a big undertaking to figure out how to transition from Snyder to full notation in the app while keeping a useful help menu and marking errors and keeping all the features intact. Um, and that's what this, splitting each candidate into 3 states instead of just 2, instead of possible or impossible. Now it's I don't know yet, possible and impossible, and everything else can key off of those 3 states now. So, I don't really know because I'm totally inexperienced with this. The best way to move forward, I guess, when I watch Cracking the Cryptic, they kind of find areas that are the most restricted. Like there's only three possibilities here for these 3 cells. Maybe I focus on that and see. I should have. I think it should have. I'm going to turn my highlighting off. I don't know. I'll play a whole game with highlighting. I don't think there's going to be any good conclusions there, but we could at least fill in our notation for those. Oh, you know what I could do? I could mark all the cells with naked pairs as complete. And over here too. So this notation may change, but for now this is how I'm thinking. I'll mark that all the cells, tell the app, tell the help system, tell everything. I know that none of these values could possibly be true. So go ahead and start drawing conclusions for me based on that additional information. Okay, so this is 1, 4, 8 goes in here. 4 is restricted. The 1 and 8 are not. So the 1 and 8 could go in all 3 of those cells. And now the rest are impossible. Okay, is there anywhere else where we have... What about here? There's only 3 cells open in this column. And I feel like this could be maybe useful for drawing some conclusions. So we're looking for 1, 5, 8. 1 can only be in those 2, so that we got a strong link on 1s there. 5 could be here. Oops. 5 could be here. And 8 could be in either one. Okay, so we didn't place anything, but we at least identified a strong link there, so that's cool. Okay, well, guess we have to move on. Anything else that's like rows or columns that are nicely restricted? Here's a column with only 3. Let's stare at that one for a bit. Here we're trying to place, 1, 4, 8. We can see all 3 candidates we're trying to place. So 1 is possible in both. 4 is only possible here, which means we've got a new strong link. And 8 is possible in both. Okay. Man, that highlighting really draws your eyes to jump around and look for patterns conclusions you could draw with those. I see why people like it. It really does help you move faster. Purist in me doesn't want to use it, doesn't want to get used to it, dependent on it. Okay, let's keep going. Restricted cells. There's only 3 in this row. And again, 1, 4, 8 are the values to look at. 1 could be in any of them. 4, oh, we can see already, is only possible in these two. So nice strong link there. And 8 could be here? Yes. Oops. 8, please. Okay. Man, those 8s. It's cool that there's some strong links all the way around in here, but no conclusions to draw, I don't think, yet. Okay. I had to keep staring at it for a minute. Okay, there's also only 3 available in this row, so 1, 8. What's the other missing value? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, only 2. Oh my gosh. That's even better. You can tell I'm not experienced with all this. Okay, so just 1 and 8. That's cool. And the 8 can't go there. So we're actually going to place both of them. 8 goes there. That's going to unmark those two. Which makes this one a strong link. I can tell because that row was complete based on all my notation. And so the only 2 left there must be a strong link. So we placed that 8, and then, I noticed that that's going to make this a strong link on 8s, which means it's impossible in the rest of that block. Okay, I think that's all I've got. And then the 1 went here, and that will mark this one impossible and make that a strong link. And then that makes this an 8-9 pair. Oh, but that 8 can't be there, which makes this an 8. Wait, why did I think it was a pair? Hold on, back up. Why did I think, 8, right. Why did I think that's not a pair, that's not an 8-9 pair, because that can't be an 8 because of that. Okay, we'll do this block next. I feel like maybe there's something that I'm not quite able to see quickly, and so I'll fill in the rest of the notation for that block. But first I want to make sure I followed through on all of my conclusions, my new conclusions I could draw from this 1 that I placed. And yeah, I'm not seeing anything new. Okay, so let's fill in this block. So that's going to be 4, 8, 9 are the values. 8 and 9 are already done because I can see I already have strong links on them. So all I have left is the 4. The 4 could be in either of these cells. Okay, so yeah, it was good that I stopped myself. Now, I see this column only has 2 open values, which makes that truly a 4-9 pair. Now, that gives us an X-wing on these 9s. And that's really interesting. I wonder if that's going to do anything for us. So whenever you see 2 strong links that line up, so here it's 2 strong links in the rows that also line up in the columns on the same digit on this 9. Could be in the reverse as well. That means it actually, you can promote them all. Like this is actually also a strong link. Because if it's not this one, then you can follow the conclusions around and say that it is going to be this one. So let me back up, I'll show that to you. If it's not this one, that means it is, by the strong link, going to be that one, which means obviously it can't be that one. By the strong link, it will be that one. So if it's not that one, it is that one. That's the definition of a strong link. Which means the 9 is impossible here. I guess we already knew that from this 9. But anyway, sometimes that's actually a useful conclusion, not just obvious via simpler means. Okay. So let's see. We've just got, at this point, I feel like probably I should just not be picky. There aren't very many open cells left without any annotations. So why don't I just focus on finishing them? Oh, right. And I just finished these two. Okay. Cool. Ah, this is the only cell left in the block. So can this have a 1? No. 4, 5, so we're actually done with this one as well. And now this is the only unmarked in this guy. Oh, this must be a 4, 5 pair. Okay, that's cool. And only a couple left in this row slash block, so this should be a 1, 3, 8. 1 is possible, 3 we have marked, 8 is possible, so I guess we have to mark both of them. And what about here? Only a couple left, so 1, 3, 5, 8, so the 1, 3, 8 is what's left to place. The 1s look possible. The 3 does look possible here as well. And the 8 looks possible everywhere. Okay, these two cells, we need 1, 3, 4, 5, 8. Oh, maybe I focus on the column to place these. So it'd be 1, 3, 4, 8. 1, 3, 4, 8 is what's to place. 1, yes, 3. Ah, cannot be there. 4. Could be in either one of these. And 8. Only in that one. Cool. And now the rest are not very restricted at all. So I guess maybe I'll just go by value here and just fill in these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, these two blocks worth of things. Okay, so the 1 could be there or there. 2, strong link there is already done. 3 is done. 3 can't go in either block. 4, 4. 4 could go all over the place. 5 could go here or here. Oh, or here, yep. 6 can't go in either one. 7 can go. Oh ho ho! A hidden single. 7 can only go there. Bam. Whoa, what was that little flash we just saw? Why did it highlight that 3 momentarily? Oh! I have something marked there. I had a help thing turned on that was flashing around. Okay. That's interesting. I don't think I've ever noticed. I never play with highlighting on, so I've never seen that before. I feel like that should be a bug. Bugs. Highlighting flashes during auto apply animations. Okay. All right, 7 is done. 8 can. Oh, kind of done. Okay. And 9. Cool. All right, so I think we have now finished filling in full candidate notation for all cells. Now I'm finally at the point where it's safe to turn on errors, and oh ho, I have not been building on mistakes this whole time. That's encouraging. All right. So it is, how long have I been doing this? Do I have a timer on my video? Oh, I can look at the game timer. Current game stats. 28 minutes I've been playing this game. Normally, I think it takes me 10 minutes to get to this point when I'm using the old style. So I'm much slower at filling in my notation from blank rather than removing notation from full. Part of that is because I usually use this to auto-apply things, I suppose. But maybe I will get better at it. So like half an hour. I want to go from half an hour to 10 minutes to even feel like... I will still prefer doing this, I think, once I'm good at it, because I'm actually, it's like just playing more of the game, playing more of the Sudoku game, as long as this is interesting to me, and I think it is. Like, it's just, I can enjoy more of the game instead of, like, so far I've sort of been robbing myself of the joy of the opening, what's the word? The opening moves of Sudoku. The early game. That's what I was looking for. The joy of the early game. Switch to standing up here. Okay. So now I can play like a regular game of Sudoku. Oh, I can turn on the helps that I'm used to, which is this one, which eliminated a 3 there. Oh, I need to make auto apply turn cell turn candidates impossible instead of blank. And I also normally play with that help turned on. And just thinking to myself about app features now, I wonder if once I've finished filling in full notation, if it would be nicer to clear out all these dashes, because there's no need for them anymore. Like now, from now on, I have made a determination on every cell. I can go. I don't need the extra marking to keep track of 3 states. I don't know yet, possible or impossible. I can reduce it back to just the 2 states, possible or impossible. I've looked at everything. I have considered everything. I know I've chosen between these 2 states for everything, so I don't really need the dash to keep track of that additional information. Okay, well, anyway, moving along. That's really fascinating, actually. I feel like there's some brainstorming to do on possible UX for that. Okay. UX means user experience, by the way. I guess I just play Sudoku. Oh, look. So with my method, I've marked a lot of strong links as we've gone, but look at all the strong links I haven't marked. I wonder if I assume I've gotten all the strong links in a block. So maybe the rows and columns, I need to spend time still. Oh, no, the very first one, in a block. In a block. In a block. Oh my gosh. There's a row, a column, so all over the place. So that's interesting. My intuition, which turns out to be totally wrong, was that I would be able to sort of move along easily, that after, what am I trying to say? My intuition was that having built up my notation from 0 instead of starting from the kind of board state that I showed you at the beginning is that by the time I got to this point, I'd be ready to go. All my links would be recorded. And I could just jump straight into analyzing them. But this is disappointing. So I still, at this point in the game, should go through and scan for those links so I can mark them, I guess. So, yep, I was missing one there. Wow, you can scan for links a lot faster with highlighting. These have strong links in their columns as well. Those columns, that was an X-wing pattern. I could have marked those a while ago, I think. I just didn't. Okay, so some of these I have hope of being able to spot sooner in the future, but there's a strong link there. So I'm just scanning for where there's only 2 of a given candidate in any block, row, or column, so I can mark those links. That's marked already. That's marked, I think. Good. 6, there are no candidates. Those are done. 8, marked. These are not marked, here or here. Yeah, I feel like I was probably able to mark these in the past as well. But I'll have to think more about that as I do my notation. Maybe some of these are just because I'm not good at it yet. Okay, so after a quick skim, I'm down to only 3 missing links. That's not bad. That's not bad. We'll take another quick pass just to see if I can spot them. It's a lot of 4s. I see the pair there and there, but those are both marked already. Here's one. Uh, 7, 8. 9. What am I missing? On 4s. On 4s. Marked. 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 Oh man, I'm gonna pop open that help and feel really dumb. Huh. That row. Okay. Oh, so I'm looking at all the rows. I don't see any more. Columns. Oh, that's easy to miss. That's easy to miss because I glanced down at this one. I see that pair. I glance down and it almost looks like that's marked already because it's going up to this guy, which is almost at the same angle as going up to that guy. That's going to be my excuse. Same thing there. Oh, on both ends. On both ends is also almost marked. Okay. I'll forgive myself for that one. The other 2, though. Okay, now I'm ready to jump into my other kinds of analyses. It's such a busy board with the highlighting and all the dashes. Like, let me turn off highlighting and see how that looks. Because right now I'm feeling like, here we go. I'm feeling like, oh, that's too much. I can't scan this board the way I'm used to, but maybe I would get used to it anyway. This doesn't feel so bad. This is not as busy. So maybe it's the highlighting plus the marks together that sort of overwhelmed me. I would get used to it, I bet. Okay. I'm going to turn this back on. It's always good to play with features that I don't normally to catch bugs for my other users that do use it. Right. So I guess the next step in my process that I haven't hit yet is to scan for, oh, should I have any need to scan for hidden pairs? No, that's a bonus. when you're doing Snyder notation, that should show you any hidden pairs along the way. So do I have any hidden pairs? Where would they be? Hidden pair. No. Of course, there's kind of nothing going on. Oh, there's an X-wing there. Snyder notation should also help you notice these X-wings a lot sooner. That's interesting. So once I'm good at it, that shouldn't be anything that I need to look for at this point. Oh, wow, this is a very hard puzzle. There's only one chain left. It has... Oh, and it is the X-wing. Oh, gosh. Well, we're definitely cheating here. But now, I don't know if I want to make a whole video looking for in a puzzle that's so difficult that the only thing left is nets. That's wild. Are any of them simple nets? Avoidable rectangle. That's amazing. Okay, I want to find that. I've never spotted one of those myself before. This will be interesting practice. Okay, so first let's find that X-wing, and I guess I'll use my highlighting to try and help. So we're going to find some place where there's two strong links, either in rows or columns, that match up and make corners of a rectangle, basically. And then it's going to make an elimination. Like if the strong links are vertically, it's going to make an elimination horizontally. So let's see if we can find a pattern like that anywhere. I don't see it quickly on ones. That makes an X-wing pattern on twos, but they're already marked as strong links in both directions. So there's no like nothing to eliminate. It doesn't do anything for us. Same with these threes. Can we find it in the fours? I don't see it in the fours. Not at a glance. Can we find it in the fives? I don't see it in the fives. Not at a glance. There are no sixes or sevens. Left to place 8. Oh man, my scanning for X-wings with highlighting skills are non-existent. Okay, I'm going to scan one more time a little slower, and then I'll pop it open and cheat and see which number it's on if I don't find it. Where could you be? So anytime I find a strong link like this is in the row, I could just go down the column and look for another 4 that has a parenthesis that's pointing the same direction. So here we've got them up and down. I can scan and look for a parenthesis pointing the other direction. No. So these two 4s are not part of a X-wing. Scan this one. There it is. These two 4s and these two 4s together make the X-wing. So I found a strong link, and then I just have to go the other direction of what might potentially make the corners of a rectangle and look for that parenthesis. And bam, done. Right there, I know this is an X-wing. Oh no, I have to look up and make sure the other link is in the same. Sorry. Then I follow it up and make sure it's in the same row, and it is. So that's great. That means those two are not possible, which makes this a strong link. And that did not form a new X-wing or anything that I can tell. Also, this 4 is impossible, which makes that a strong link. I don't see anything new to do with that information. And then that means these 2 are strong links. So what you could, the one way to think about the way an X-wing works is it takes 2 corners of a rectangle that are connected with a strong link. That automatically converts the other 2 corners to also have a strong link. Okay, so hopefully, and I haven't looked at the side yet, but I'm about to look at it. Hopefully, I have eliminated those 4s and not left any new strong links or simple things. I'm trying to do that as I make those modifications. Oh, and I left them. Oh my gosh, I left them. Must be some more links on 4s, obviously, because the only thing I've changed is eliminating some candidate 4s. Let's see, I eliminated from here and here, I think. Ah, okay. I missed that one. And I missed that one in the blocks. Cool. All right, now, as I was cheating, I noticed that there was a hidden pair. Maybe I'll search for that next. That's interesting, I think, because in fact, I feel like highlighting is gonna make it harder for me to spot these. To find a hidden pair, I search for cells with more than 2 candidates, like this one, that also have 2 strong links going the same direction, like this one. And this is actually, I found it pretty quickly. It was near the top where I started scanning. So this has 2 strong links pointing in the same direction. So if I follow them and they both end in the same cell here, that means we have a hidden pair. So because of the strong links, that means these are the only 2 cells in the column that have 2, and also the only 2 cells in the column that have 4. That means one of them has to be the 2, the other has to be the 4. This one cannot be a 1. So it is impossible for this to be a 1. That gives us a strong link here. And let's check the block. That gives us no. And the row, no. Okay. So now we look, and yeah, sure enough, the only thing left are nets, not even a chain. Wow. But we have that avoidable rectangle. Omission? What do you mean omission? It says no omission. This says there is omission? Okay, nets are broken. That one's correct. Ah, I see. So the net, okay, the help menu for nets is useless. It thinks, hey, that can't be a 2, because it doesn't know how to interpret that impossible mark yet. So it's thinking I'm saying this could be a 2 because there's a mark there. Say, don't put a mark there. That can't be a 2. Otherwise, you'd have interchangeable corners on this rectangle. So the help menu is now useless right now. Maybe the chains are also useless. Maybe there's lots of chains to find. Okay, let's try a little bit. I bet you we'll find some. I bet you that's the problem. The chain doesn't know how to interpret the link marks. The impossible marks. So that's well behaved. That's well behaved. The 5s. We could maybe eliminate some 5s somewhere if we start from here. Oh, also for this 4 here. Oh, the 1 here. Okay, never mind. We can start from this 1. Let's. Is that how I mark? Yeah. Let's start a chain from this 1. Because there's only 2 candidates in this cell, and this 1 is missing a strong link. There's no vertical strong link. That tells me that there might be some potential conclusions to draw if we start a chain from here. Excuse me. So if that's not a 1, then this is a 1, which means that's not a 1, which means it's a 9. It's a 4, 5, not a 5. 5. Hey, look at that. That gives us that gives us an elimination. Sure enough, there are chains. Okay. Let me run that chain again to make sure that I didn't make a mistake, and then if it works, I'll explain it. So if that's not a 1, then this is a 1, that's a 9, that's a 4. How did I do this? Not a 1, 1, 9. Oh, I have to remember how I did it. 4, not a 4, 4, not a 5, 5. Yep, here we are. So If this is not a 1, then this is a 5. That's what I just concluded. So in that possibility, this one cannot be a 1, obviously, because it's a 5. What's the other possibility? Other than if this is not a 1, you could also say if it is a 1. If it is a 1, then still, this cell cannot be a 1. So in either world, it is impossible for that to be a 1, which gives us a nice strong link on these ones. Okay, now we can start from this 4 because there's only 2 cells, but this one is missing that strong link vertically. So if that's not a 4, then this is a 4, 2, not a 2, 2, no, that's obvious. If it's not a 4, it's a 2, 4, 2. Oh, interesting. Maybe we can't do much with this. Not a 4. 4, 2. That's not a 2. Makes that a 2. Oh! Oh. I haven't looked for unique rectangles, and this is a unique rectangle. Oh gosh. All these markings are I'm off my game. I'm not using the right right sequence of looking for all these things. I thought there was something suspicious going on there, and that's because this is a very obvious type 1, the first type of unique rectangle anyone learns. If this was either a 4 or a 2, it would propagate out and set a deadly pattern here where you'd have interchangeable corners. We have a naked 2, 4 on all 3 of these, which means this can be neither 1. That has to be a 5. And that's going to do some work for us, because now we can follow some of these strong links around. Now that's not, so that means that is a 2, which means that's also a 2, which means this is a 4. Great. So let's see, that gives us a new strong link on 5s here. Oh, maybe I'll turn my highlighting back on. So we just did some work with 5s, which means I look for new strong links around 5s. We also added some 2s and 4s. Oh, the 2s are done now. That's cool. And the 4s, I got a strong link there already. We don't have one here yet. And we got that one already. Got those all nicely marked out. Okay. That's a strong link. Okay. And now I should look in the rows, columns, and blocks where I placed values to see if it exposed any new strong links on other values in those houses. So, oh yeah, because this is a 1-4 pair now. This is a new strong link. And placed them up here, 5, 8, that was already marked. Placed here, we just said that. That's already marked. What about in this house, in this block? We've got 1s are a new strong link. 4s are a new strong link. And 9s are already marked. Rows this way, 1s are marked, 8s, everything is marked this way. 4s, 1s, and 8s are all marked. Okay, I think that should do it. Oh, I'm still missing one on 5s. Oh, why? I thought I looked at that already. I placed this 5, which made that a new strong link. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to move on and keep looking at chains. I'm at the point in the game where that's what I enjoy. So let's start here. That's not a 5. Then this is a 5. This is an 8, which means that's not an 8, which means that's an 8. And I'm not seeing anything else. Not a 5. 5? Doesn't do anything there. Not an 8. 8. So we have 8, 5, 8. And then it kind of runs out of steam. Oh, wait a minute. I've got a naked pair here. I've got a 1-4 pair there. I just happened to notice. Ah, also this 5-8 is a hidden pair. Yeah. Cool. So that makes a nice strong link on these ones. And not on those ones, but yes on these ones. Cool. All right. That was a good spot, but it did not help me with this chain. So that's, if that's not a 5, it's an 8, 5, 8. And that's all I'm seeing. So just to make sure, 8, 5, yeah, okay, I'll move on. Wow, 1, 8 here with no strong links coming out of it at all. Let's hope we can do something with one of these. So if that's not a 1, it's an 8. There's no strong links coming out of anywhere to help us make any conclusions. So that got us nowhere fast. What about if it's not an 8? Then it's a 1. There's also no strong links coming out of anywhere to draw any conclusions. So, okay, I guess we have to leave that alone for now. Okay, now we come to a cell with more than 2 candidates, which means we follow any strong link, and that might lead us to some nice conclusions. Maybe, we'll see. Not a 4, then those are both 4. Because that a 1. And that a 4. No, that didn't help, thought it might. 5. 4. 9. 1. It's placing a lot of things. 8, 1. 4, that's an 8. 1. I said 1 a lot of times. I feel like this is going to do something for us. It's just going to maybe have to stare quite a bit to find the nets or something. Makes that a 4-8 pair. That doesn't do anything. Okay, so not a 4. 8, 4. Oh. Interesting. Let me try that again. I think there was something interesting there. If that's, okay, so not a 4, and I went down to say that that was a 1. Let's see if I can do that again. Not a 4, 4, 4, 4, not a 1, 1, not a 1, 1, not an 8, 8, not an 8, 1. So if this is not a 4, then this is a 4, and that's a 1, which makes that an 8. Okay, I don't know where my mind went last time, but I don't think there's anything for us there. Okay, makes that an 8. Not an 8. 8. Gosh, if I could just get myself back around to placing in this column. So that was a 1. Okay, so if this is not a 4, we got a 1 there, makes this a 3-8 pair. We've got a 1-8 pair there right away. 1-8 pair, 3-8 pair, which means we could not possibly have a 1-3 pair here because that would be a uniqueness problem. So one of those 4 candidates has to be wrong. One of them has to be a 3, which means that neither of those could be a 1. If either one of those was a 1, then we'd unravel into a uniqueness pattern. So neither of those could be a 1. That can't be a 1 because this one is. Well, and because it's a 4. Wait, no, it's not. No, that can't be a 1. That makes this an 8, right? This is an 8. That's a 4. So this is the 1, which makes that an 8. Oh! Well, that's one of the crazier ones you could possibly find. I don't know. There's probably like a 2-string kite in here, or but what I just found, maybe, if I can reproduce it, is some craziness that says that this cell cannot be an 8. Okay, so 2 possible worlds. In one world, this is a 4. Okay, in that case, it cannot be an 8 because it's a 4. Okay, other possible world, it's not a 4. If it's not a 4, and in fact, I feel like, let me run this through once and try and verify it myself. And if it's true, I'll take a screenshot and write some notes to show it to you. Not a 4, 4. Not a 4, 4, 8, 1. Okay, so that 1 makes a 3-8 pair here. We have a 1-8 pair there, which means we cannot end up with a 1-3 pair here. Now, because of the strong link, we know that one of them has to be a 3, which means that the other one can't be a 1. Because if one's a 3 and the other is a 1, we're going to lead to a uniqueness constraint. And I'll show you that in the screenshot, I guess, when I doodle. So those can't be a 1. Because of this can't be a 1. Not a 4, 4, that can't be a 1, which means the only one left is this, which is a 1, which means that's an 8. So if this is not a 4, following all that logic, then this is an 8, and this cell cannot be an 8. So in either case, whether it is or is not a 4, either way, it cannot be an 8. It is not possible. Okay, now let me try and draw that out for you. Where's my snip and sketch? Let me just draw this over here. Let's take a new snip of this. Okay. So if we start from saying, let's see, what's our starting color? Let's make yellow our starting color. If this is not a 4, that's our starting premise. And that means this is a 4, which means that's not a 4, which means this is a 4. And there may be a much simpler way to do this, but anyway, which means that's not a 4, which means it's an 8, which means that is not an 8, which means it's a 1, which means this is not a 1. Also, it means this is not a 1. This is not a 1. So we have a 3-8 pair here. Here, let me do that in a different color. Let's do that in green. We have a 3-8 pair here, a 3-8 pair here. We have a 1-8 pair here and here. We already saw that because we eliminated that 4. That was our starting premise. Now, if we had a 1-3 pair here, that would be a uniqueness constraint because then whichever one you place, it unravels the rest into the opposite number. So if we were to place a 1 here, that'd be a 3, 8, 3, 1, 8. That solves. That's fine. And if you go the other way, it's just you just flip the you flip the 1 or the 3 in this column, 3 and 8 in this column, the 1 and the 8 in this column, and it still is a valid puzzle. Still is a valid solution. Doesn't affect anything else. It's like unique rectangle extended by 1. So it's a unique, I don't know. It's a unique rectangle with midpoints. So and add to that one of these must be a 3, then we know that if this is a 3, this can't be a 1, because then we'd have our problem that I just described. Or if this was a 3, then this could not be a 1. So in either, no matter how you work it, these cannot be a 1. Now, let's see. Also, from our starting premise, this must be a 4, which means it can't be a 1. And now, this is the only 1 left in the block. Which eliminates this one, which means that is an 8. So, by that craziness, if it's not a 4, this is an 8. All right, hopefully that was interesting somehow. I don't know how long I've been at looking at chains and nuts before I could start to spot things like that, but that's one of the crazier ones. Okay. So we said it's impossible for that to be an 8. That gives us a new strong link on these 8s and those 8s. And I don't see any new conclusions to draw from that off the top of my head. Kind of links around via here up to these, but there's no intersection, so that doesn't eliminate anything that I can notice off the top of my, quickly at a glance. So, we were starting from saying if that's not a 4, and we successfully whittled our cell down to a pair, just 2 candidates left. So now, because that 4 is nicely behaved, it has a strong link both horizontally and vertically, I will switch to the 1. I feel like here is where now we could maybe, we'll see, draw some conclusions. Now it's worth noting, as I follow this chain along, this is like the other possible world from all the conclusions we drew before. So before we said if it's not a 4, now the only other possibility is it's not a 1. So I will keep that in mind. If it's not a 1, then it's a 4. Not a 4, 4. 1, not a 1. 1. Aha! If that's correct, that gives us an elimination. In fact, it gives us a placement, 2 placements, 3 placements. Whoa, cool. Okay, if it's not a 1, it's a 4. Not a 4, 4. Not a 4, 1. Not a 1, 1. This is great. Okay, so if that's not a 1, this is a 1. In either case, this cannot be. So it's impossible for that to be a 1. And now it's a 4, which makes this a 1, which makes that a 4, and it makes that a 1. Oh, and it keeps going, which makes that a 4. Oh, this is fantastic. Which makes that a 4, which makes that a 4, which makes that a 4. And then I see there's some leftover strong link marks, so I can very quickly spot that there's a 5 I should place here. And there's some leftover link marks there, so I can quickly spot that there's a 1 I should place somewhere here, and here. And now there's an 8 I should place here, and a 9 here. Oh, I gotta get my finger on the keys now. This is going too quickly. 9s are now done. Any other link marks? Oh, there we go, 1. I should place that one, and that one, and that one. Now that gives us a 5 here, and here, and here, and an 8 there, and there, and there, and there. There's a 3 here, and here, and an 8 there, and there. And we're done! An hour. Well, there we have it. Just some notes that I added for myself. I felt like once I got used to that highlighting, even during this game, it became good enough. It wasn't too busy. I got used to it. So I feel like the UI of it, with all those things going on, the dashes and the highlighting and the link marks, is okay. Is okay. I could still consider a feature where once you've put in all of your candidate marks, it can hide the dashes. But then, I don't know. I'm not sure about that. Anyway, there we go. The very first time playing a full game with all these new features that aren't even done yet, and got a puzzle done. Thanks for watching.